Welcome along, everybody, to my watch along for practice 3, the final practice session of the 2025 Formula 1 Austrian Grand Prix. Whoa, what the fuck? Why? How is George Russell's wheel moving? He's not even in the car. Yeah. Welcome on in, everyone, to the watch along. Let's discuss everything from the final practice session. And then we've got qualifying later on today. But if it's your first time tuning on in to watch along, this is how it works. You got my face here. You got the live timings here. You got the session timer down the bottom left that you can sync on up with. And you got lovely Twitch chat that you can type in. So if you're watching right now on TikTok or YouTube, come join us on Twitch. We are live all day on Grand Prix weekends on Twitch. And then we go live for the watch alongs on TikTok and YouTube as well. Yeah, I cannot show the broadcast live as it is obviously copyrighted, but find a place where you can watch the broadcast yourself, join us, and join us and watch them practice all together. Now, yesterday's practice sessions were maybe not as good as other practice sessions this year. There wasn't too much to talk about, but there were some interesting things that happened, such as in practice 1 yesterday, we had Beganovic and Dunn doing their rookie sessions, but most importantly, Dunn, 4th place in practice, only 1/10 off of Piastri, or 2/10 off of Piastri, and then 1/10 off Piastri and 4/10 off of the top time. He absolutely smashed it. So, yeah, let's see what practice 3 is like today. We kind of had a little bit of quality runs yesterday. Don't think we'll get any more quality runs today. Maybe we'll get a couple, but yeah, Ferrari were having issues in practice 1. The gearbox with Lewis, Leclerc not obviously getting the session, doing the session because he was replaced by rookies. So they got a lot of catching up to do. But yeah, as per typical of FP3, it looks like no one's ready to come out on track to start the session. So we'll have to wait a little bit to see some cars on track. But let me get the timer up for you guys. All right, timer is up. Get your... be sure to sync on up. And if you're on Twitch right now, get your channel point predictions in. Who will finish first in practice 3? There you go. Leclerc entering the garage now. Yep. Practice has already started. You're signing things. You're signing autographs. Why don't you go hop in your car, bro? Yeah, you need it. You missed out on practice 1. Your teammates had issues. Less signing and more driving. Ferrari, man. Ferrari. Anyways, how we all doing, guys? I usually don't read chat just before we get into a watch along, so I can go back and catch up on chat while we wait for this shit, for them to hop in their fucking cars. Anyways, who we got in chat? CM Hill, what's up? Watched the F1 movie today. What did you think, dude? On YouTube watching it now, they are fuming with the plot. Wait, on YouTube watching it now, they're fuming the plot. Wait, oh man, Tommy are popping off about the F1 film. Really? I don't know. I haven't watched obviously Matt and Tommy's full video, but I did watch their clip this morning, and their clip was valid, talking about female representation in the film. It was very disappointing, but a movie as a whole, I really enjoyed it. I was curious to see what the diehard fans said. The only other diehard F1 fan creator that I've watched a review from is Tomo, and he liked it as well. We both gave it an 8 out of 10. So, yeah, what did Matt and Tommy give it out of 10? Do they give a rating? Isn't he going to be at Cadillac next year? Party before sporting event. Wait, who are you talking about? I don't know. These messages are so old now, I probably missed what you're talking about. Anyways, Kaya, Sarah, what's up, guys? Ponden has no general knowledge. I have okay general knowledge. You only know it if you know it, right? Hamzama, what's up? Currently having a drink and watching a stream from a skyscraper. Let's go. What's up, Petty? Let's be honest. Lando didn't pay attention in any class. Did anyone pay attention in school? Is it just me who has no title race in F1 25? My team, Verstappen, has won every single race. I haven't finished my team, but I know the first like 6-7 races of the season, it was literally just Lando and Max trading poles and trading wins. No one else could do anything. How do they finish under VCARB with all this thinking? They got so many right though. I feel like McLaren didn't get that many right in comparison to VCARB. VCARB were banging it out. What's up, Mr. Product? How's it going, dude? Don't you use Chrome for F1 TV? Yeah, I do. I use F1. I use Google Chrome. I like the movie. I feel like you need to be into F1 to really enjoy it. I think the opposite. I think the exact opposite. I think you have to be not into F1 to enjoy it as much as they want you to. I mean, the movie wasn't made for F1 fans, I don't think. If you lived in a mansion, would you rather have a bear, elephant, or a cow as a pet? A bear, elephant, or a cow as a pet that can enter your house and the pets won't harm you? Probably a bear. It'd be cool to like fucking snuggle up with. It would be nice and furry. POV F1 movie fans asking, where is AlphaTauri? Where is Bottas? Where is Joe? Where is Danny Rick? I mean, Danny Rick wasn't really in the film. Joe obviously had one commentary line about him. Kevin Magnussen was the one that he was the fucking he was the star of the show. I like how other views are integrated now. I like how the other views are integrated now. Wait, what? If you don't know the drivers, the movie is worse. You need to know a little bit, but not too much. Why do you need to know about the drivers? I mean, like, there's I think there's little bits and pieces which make it, as an F1 fan, worth to watch, like all the little Easter eggs and stuff like that. But overall, I don't think it's needed. What do we got going on in TikTok chat? Thank you, everyone, for the follows. Welcome to the stream if it's your first time here. Sup, Marielle? Sup, Matthias? How's it going, guys? Sup, Reading? Reading? Yeah, Reading. Will I be live for F2? Yeah, I'm going to be live on Twitch for F2. What time is qualifying? Qualifying is in 3.5 hours from now. Europe. Jello Wee, Shards, and It's CD. Thank you guys for the follows. Why is this happening, man? Why are we sitting in the garage? Get on track. Start getting some laps in. What's the point? What's the point? What's up, Danger Boy? The different POVs and data screen. I see. Thankfully, I haven't seen many people asking where Sunny Hayes is yet. Bro, I'm going good. Just playing Fortnite since I don't have a device support for F125. But Chun-Li is in the item shop. Who's Chun-Li? I'm sorry if that's bad to ask, but I don't know who he is. There's rumors that the F1 items might come to the Fortnite shop finally. If you don't know, about a year ago, F1 items were leaked in Fortnite, and then they never got added to the game. But there's rumors that they might actually get added soon. Which means I'll have an excuse to play Fortnite on stream. Which would be good. What the fuck is happening to my drink? My drink tastes like ass. And it's also there's like dripping everywhere. Who's out on track right now? Stroll, Alonso, Verstappen. Look at that Red Bull round turn 1. It must be so cool to be this close trackside. To be honest, I can't believe that those guys stand there at turn 1. Like, it just takes one crash and, like, I don't know, that's kind of a scary spot to stand. Chun-Li is a fighter from Street Fighter. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not really into like the fighting game world. Yeah, many Fortnite creators are saying that the items might be out. Okay, cool. You mean like coming out, right? They're not out. Right? I would have seen if they're out already. Elise Pot, know me. What's up, guys? I'm on the stream. Thank you for the follows. What do you think of Robert taking P1 quali in PSSC? Is that Porsche Super Cup? What's PSSC? I'm not sure. YC. I'm not sure who you're referring to. Stroll won, so Stroll win the GP with pole. He might. Max is taking it. Max is on pole now. No, Aston Martin are looking good this weekend. I mean, they are always kind of like that, to be honest, where they like look good and then Alonso delivers and Stroll doesn't. Matt gave the movie a 4 out of 10 and Tommy gave it a 3 out of 10. Interesting. Liam and Hadger sitting in the garage as well. Lewis sitting in the garage. What are these guys doing, bro? Sup, Mogul? Sup, Mario? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I'm surprised Matt and Tommy gave it that low. Like, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't. Maybe they just weren't feeling it on the day, or maybe they're more critical than me. But I don't know. I feel like I came with the mindset of like, this movie is for non-F1 fans. And I enjoyed it. I've got the perfect quote to describe the F1 movie, right? I've got the perfect quote. Wait, let me remember it real quick. Yeah, okay. This is anyone who complains about the F1 movie and not being blah, blah, and this, that, and the other. My quote is, the F1 movie is about F1. It's not for F1. Does that make sense? I think so many people have gone into it going, this is for the F1 fans. Like, this is, this is for Formula One. The Formula One fans are going to have such a cool movie. No, you've come in with the wrong mindset. It's a movie about F1, and that's it. It's just about Formula One. It's about the F1 world. That is it. It's a movie about Formula One. If you go into it thinking, yeah, I'm going to have like a realistic experience and like blah, 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 you're not going to get that. And don't get me wrong, I do think there is a world they could have made an authentic Formula One movie that is still Hollywood and is still good for casual fans. But I don't think it would have done as well as the movie that they made in the end. Yeah, and there's obviously problems in the movie, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's about F1. It's not for F1. Same with Drive to Survive. It's not about F1. It's for F1. Sorry, it's about F1, not for F1. F1 going for an ad already. Wait. Sky Sports cut to an ad instantly? I mean, I guess it makes sense to kind of get it out of the way, but yeah, it's kind of dumb. User LOL, name of the wallet. Hope Lawson had you do well. I would love that, User LOL. I would love that. But I don't know. They don't look as good as other weekends. We'll see how FP3 plays out. At F1 25, my team, Stroll won a race because of a red flag. Hell yeah. I love that it can be mixed up like that sometimes. What time does quality start? 3.5 hours from now. Sick of the promo, though, over the broadcast and F1 socials. Taking it too far. I mean, it's the biggest thing to happen to in F1 since Drive to Survive. So I'm not surprised that the promo is insane. Ideally try to satisfy both. Yeah, exactly. I do wish they did make a movie better for diehard fans, but yeah. It's literally a movie. If you want a realistic F1 experience, you could just do this crazy thing called watching F1. I know, right, Shards? Fucking crazy, right? I don't know, man. People. I generally think you can see. I generally think you can see people's IQ levels sometimes by their opinion on Drive to Survive, and in this case, the F1 movie versus not. It's just like, I don't know. I love that. I love that quote. I love this scene. Wait. I'm gonna get it up. I'm gonna get the Ricky Gervais clip up for reference. It kind of relates to this. Ricky Gervais. I mean, actually, it doesn't really relate. Anyways, this is like there's this bit in Ricky Gervais's comedy set where he's like, people nowadays take everything like it's for them. So like they'll hop off the bus and they'll see an advertisement that says guitar lessons, and then they fucking call the number and go, I don't fucking want guitar lessons. That's how I feel about people complaining about Drive to Survive season 7. It's just like, why the fuck is this show telling me what practice is and who this driver? I've seen this before. The show's not for you, fucking dumbass. Why are you watching it? And the F1 movie, I agree. They could have presented it more for diehard fans. But at the end of the day, it's a movie about F1. It's not for Formula One. Yeah, complain about F1 races being boring. Complain about qualifying being boring. Complain about the cars not being able to overtake 100%. But saying, oh, the movie's boring. Well, maybe it wasn't for you, dumbass. Maybe it wasn't for you. I don't know. I think you're just going to come with the right mindset to enjoy the film. Someone's going to crash. It's going to be Colapinto. Someone said that yesterday. Was that you? And he didn't crash? He didn't crash? Liam is the reason I started watching it, as I'm from NZ. I'm proud of him, and I feel bad for the shit he gets. That's cool that he got into the sport because of Liam. But yeah, I agree with you. He gets more hate than he deserves. Excuse me. But yeah, he's obviously had a tough time having to move from Red Bull back to V-Carb. Just a lot of confidence. Can't wait for my KO subscription to go to $30 a month so I can watch more Sky Sports ads. Let's go. I agree with the amount of promotion for the movie. It's almost like there was no race this weekend. I said that before this weekend started. I almost forgot this Grand Prix was on this weekend because of the amount of promo for the movie. But that makes sense, right? If I was the Austrian Grand Prix, I wouldn't be happy. But also, this is the thing. If I was the Austrian Grand Prix, I wouldn't be happy because I would be absolutely overshadowed by the movie. But imagine being the first Grand Prix after the movie comes out. There's going to be a lot of people tuning in this weekend. Honestly, I really wish what happened in Canada last week happened this week after the movie came out, because without spoiling it, the movie is about two teammates who fight. for the most part. And what happened in Canada would have been so cool for new fans to be like, oh shit, that does actually happen. Whereas this weekend, I'm scared these new fans are going to tune in to watch 70 laps of fucking nothing. What's up, Poochie? F1 movies are okay, but because I'm an F1 nerd, it was something, yeah. That's the thing. Like, I kind of like laughed at the crashes. I kind of like laughed at the cringe scenes, but I enjoyed the rest of it. Whereas other people, I feel like they've gone in and they've instantly gone, oh my God, I can't stand this. Like, that's so cringe. You know what I mean? Although, the first thing I noticed, the first thing I noticed, and I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of set up my mindset of being like, oh no, here we go. But I didn't see it again afterwards. Was one of the opening scenes. I think it was the first grid, the first race of the movie. One camera shot shows a Ferrari 2024 car, and then it cuts and it's a 2023 car, and then it cuts and it's a 2024 car, and then it cuts and it's a 2023 car. And again, it's such a small little thing, but it just like it catches my eye, and I'm like, what the fuck? I saw someone post that on Twitter, on TikTok. Yeah. Spoilers? How's that a spoiler? To be honest, Austria is a banger track. They had the right idea to put this weekend in XGP or Silverstone. Yeah, one of the two, it will be good. Yeah, no, true. Yeah, it's true. Silverstone's going to be bang. I think they've timed it perfectly with Silverstone. Knowing Silverstone, like if you had to pick a track, if you had to pick a track that you're like, okay, it has the highest chance of delivering a banger for new fans to enjoy, Silverstone and Brazil are your two. Did you watch it? Yeah, I watched it the other day. I really enjoyed it. Is it better than Ford vs Ferrari? I'm not gonna lie, I've never watched Ford vs Ferrari Rush. I'm not a movie guy at all. So I can't say it's better, but from what I've heard, it's not better. It's just cool that it's like in the F1 world and like the way they shot it and stuff like that. I hadn't been to the movies in years. Last movie was Endgame, and holy shit, it was expensive. Yeah, movies are really expensive now. Mainly just because like the fucking food and drink as well. But yeah, I don't most sports movies are accurate to real life. As long as you enjoy the movie, that's all that matters. Yeah. We're gonna see a crash in quali, probably not in practice. Yeah, I think for some reason, because this track's so demanding, we tend to see a fair few crashes. I remember that year where both Mercedes crashed out in quali. Just Sling, what's up, dude? The movie is too unrealistic, but Monaco 2 stop is too boring. Can't win with these fans. Yeah, exactly. Do you fans would have turned off the race before that McLaren crash, to be fair? maybe. The only part I cringed at was the pit stop when he didn't move. It's funny. Remember when they were in the... This is not a spoiler. It's just like there's a part of the movie where one person goes, combat. And then the whole like driver room, the whole engineering room goes, combat. And then everyone back at the factory goes, combat. And I remember watching that being like, oh, that's cringe. And then... It wasn't until after the movie ended and like the people I was with were like, that was so cringe. And then I saw a TikTok where it was like, that was so cringe. And then I saw Tomo flaming it and I was like, that was so cringe. And I was kind of like, oh yeah, it was actually kind of cringe. And I think that's a prime example of like, sometimes other people's opinions can dictate how you feel. So for instance, like I watched it and I was just like, okay, that's cringe, who cares? But it wasn't until everyone else started complaining about it that it made me think like, yeah, that was actually kind of cringe and very American, like, yeah, that happens in a fucking football locker room, but that doesn't happen in the F1 world as far as I'm aware. I mean, Drive to Survive is more to F1 newcomers and so is the movie. I think F1 movie is even more below Drive to Survive. Drive to Survive has so much information. It has so much like, this is practice, this is qualifying, this is the storylines of the actual drivers. The F1 movie is completely fake. It's not even based on a true story. It's completely fake. Even most of the moments in the film aren't even based on real moments. They're completely fake. And so F1 movie is going to be people's gateway to be like, oh, what's Formula One? And then Drive to Survive will be where they learn about the sport. And then obviously watching the sport is where you're going to learn best. But yeah. Ollie Behrman is a movie star. Is it like Drive to Survive? No, completely. They're completely different forms of media. One's a reality show documentary, basically, and the other one's a Hollywood movie. I mean, if the movie was meant to be 100% realistic, I think they would have just made a documentary about F1. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Apple apparently working on a documentary with Lewis Hamilton, so I'm looking forward to that. I agree. That part was kind of cringe. Was it really cringe? It's just a team getting hyped. That's what I mean. Like at the time, I was just like, oh, that's cringe, but whatever. But then yeah, once other people started hating, I was like, okay, maybe it was worse than I thought. The only thing that bugs me was how unrealistic some of the incidents were. But hey, that's Hollywood. It depends what you mean by unrealistic the incidents were. I thought all the crashes looked real. Like nothing looked goofy. Even the big crash, which everyone knows what I'm referring to for people who have watched it. Even the big crash, you might think, oh, that's traumatic. But that actually did happen in Monza in Formula 3. So it's kind of like, I don't know. You kind of know that, you know what I mean? Like you can sit here and say it's dramatic all you want, but like that was basically based off of a real crash. So I think they did a really good job making the crashes look authentic, but I do agree. There was like, I think he crashed every single race. It would be nice if they do a similar production with a real story from F1 like 2016. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really cool if they had like a... Or like, it doesn't have to be completely a real story, but like, maybe you take like this part of Max's career and this part of Lewis's career and this part of Charles Leclerc's career and this part of this person's career. So, can we move on from the movie? We'll move on when we feel like moving on, Dons. The racing parts were 10 out of 10. People can't hate on them. Yeah, no, it was good. Man, Tommy's Lego vid was so funny. I haven't watched that. Well, I usually don't watch too much content in the F1 world. This morning I was watching Josh Revel's video though. I was enjoying Josh Revel's video about Lando. I thought it was in a good what's the word? Discussion, I guess, about how Lando is gonna throw away the championship. I think a lot of creators in the space are scared to give their thoughts on Lando at the moment because it's seen as hate. So yeah, watching Rick's F1 Addiction and Josh Revel's videos about Lando, I completely agree with them. And I'm glad that they don't care about the hate and just say what they think. Because at the end of the day, like, having an opinion isn't hating. And it sucks that the F1 world is so like the way it is, you know what I mean? Like, you criticize Lewis, oh, you're a hater. You criticize Lando, you're a hater. You criticize Charles, you're a hater. You criticize fucking anyone, you're a hater. Yeah, a lot of people go out for turn 3. Track looks hotter right now, though. Yesterday, there was a lot of cloud cover. What's up, Dan David? Mercedes are trying to get Verstappen for next season. I mean, Toto's been wanting to get Max at Mercedes since he came out Yoss's balls. So, it's just another day in the office. I think Toto is open to the idea. You know what I reckon, though? I've thought about this morning. Do you think there's a world where Russell has already secretly signed to Mercedes and him and George have cut up this master plan to leave the door open and actively pursue Max to ruffle feathers at Red Bull? Because the way that they're doing this whole thing, like if they're doing that, that's huge brain. But I doubt it. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, so you're actively and openly ignoring your driver who's doing very well. Your driver also doesn't give a fuck. And you want to replace your driver who's championship worthy with another driver who is obviously a proven champion. I don't know. It's just like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like a plan to kind of get some tension at Red Bull. Sup, Larry? Thank you for the follow. Lando's pulling it back after Canada. Yeah, he's looking good right now. But just like I watched in the Josh Revel video this morning, Lando's trajectory this season is P1 and FP1, P1 and FP2, P1 and FP3, P1 and Q1, P1 and Q2, and then 70% of the time fumbles quali or the race. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's when the moment and it matters, Lando doesn't deliver at the moment. So even though he looks quick, we know he's quick. We've known he's quick for the last, 6 years he's been in the sport? 7 years he's been in the sport? He needs to deliver when it matters. Are you for me? Then with the follow. How long are we getting to start? It was 24 minutes ago the session started. I was surprised yesterday when Lando wasn't on FP1, then he was on pole on FP2. Yeah, so every driver needs to give up their car for 2 rookie sessions. Unless they're a rookie already. Norris is never going to be a world champion, you reckon? See, I think Norris will be a world champion. I just don't think he's going to be... It won't be easy. It won't be easy. Since watching F1, I just realized I live so close to the street named after the founder of McLaren. No idea, Lamau. That's cool. You should go check it out. I was watching a video. It was this guy who traveled from New Zealand to Monaco for like this McLaren partnered video. And he started off the video at Bruce McLaren's first ever workshop or garage or whatever you want to call it. It's pretty cool. Now it's just a random ass like fucking building. Max Russell could be teammates of Mercedes. Toto hasn't ruled that out. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The counter argument is that Merck is known for taking their time with contracts. That too, yeah. Lando's been quicker than Oscar in Q1, 9 times quicker in Q2, 8 times, but only quicker 4 or 5 times in Q3, yeah. Norris will be world champion when Oscar Lee is a max out of shit car. The thing is, though, a lot of you guys, and look, I'm not saying you're wrong, but a lot of you guys are kind of have this opinion that a lot of you guys have this opinion that Lando is a bottler and will always be a bottler, or makes mistakes and will always make mistakes. But look at Charles Leclerc. He's one of the best talents ever to grace Formula 1, in my opinion. But he bottled for like 2 years straight. George Russell has had a lot of bad moments. Max Verstappen started off his career crashing every 3rd week. Every 2nd or 3rd Grand Prix. It is natural for drivers to have poor mentalities. Now, obviously, the argument with Lando is that he's in his 7th season of Formula 1. And he's made way more mistakes than, I think, Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Maybe on par with Max Verstappen in the early days. But, like, you can change. And Lando's only, what, 27? He's got another 10 years left in him in Formula 1. I'm sure he will learn, or hopefully he will learn and adjust his mindset or fix his mentality. Maybe it is a non-fixable thing. But, yeah, even look at Nico Rosberg, right? I don't think he was ever better than Lewis Hamilton. But one season he gave it his all. He gave it his all. He gave it everything. He worked on some things, and with a little bit of luck as well, he was able to win. So, yeah, don't rule Lando out. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I criticize Lando a lot, but I'm also realistic. He is quick. He is one of the best drivers on the grid. He just needs to tidy up his just mistakes under pressure. Yeah, but Norris is not a rookie anymore. He don't show me he could be a world champion. If your argument is that there's a lot of talent on the grid right now, that Lando is going to have a harder time winning a championship, I do agree with that. But I think saying Lando's not a world championship isn't championship worthy because there are so many good drivers on the grid at the moment, I don't think it's fair, because I think we're in an era of Formula 1 now where there's so many good drivers, and I think ruling out drivers from a championship because there's so much good talent, I don't know. I just feel like I think there's a lot of good drivers who are worthy of a championship. I don't know. It's a hard one because at the end of the day, this might be Lando's only chance of ever winning a world championship. You know, you think how hard it is to win a championship. You need to be in the right car at the right time. And Lando's ended up at a championship winning team, probably a championship winning team, but he's fumbling to his teammate. And next year, Mercedes might be the best team. And in 10 years' time, Ferrari might be the best team. And he might not be at the team that's championship worthy. This might be his only year, and he might throw it away. Jack, thank you for the 2-month resub, dude. Appreciate you coming in the prime, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really do appreciate you supporting. Gianna, thank you for the follow. Lando is not slower than Leclerc, but he's just not good under pressure. Oh, Leclerc is quicker than Lando, in my opinion. I mean Piastri. Oh, you meant Piastri. Lando is not slower than Piastri. No, I'd say Lando is probably slightly quicker overall, in terms of pace. But I feel like Lando is now behind Piastri in almost every other attribute. I think he's worse in on-track attacking, on-track defending, race starts, dealing with pressure. Honestly, at this point, qualifying lap, qualifying. But I think Lando's biggest strength is his race pace. Could you do a top 5 driver ranking? What, of current form? Is that what you want? How could Tsunoda do a better time than Max? Because Max is on hard tires and Yuki is on softs. But yeah, good luck from Yuki. I haven't seen him up there for a while, but yeah, Max is on hards right now. Lando seems to always try going around the outside at first when he's overtaking it. And it baits him into bad moves, yeah. Lando was great until he had the pressure of being in the fastest car in the grid, yeah. And I know that I have that mentality as well. Like, I have that mentality as well. Like, when there's no pressure, I perform so good, but as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, it's hard, man. Sometimes you just have to not think about the context of things and just be you. You should have went on the outside. You should have went on the outside in Canada. Lando will be world champion or even multiple. Definitely, I feel like Oscar will be multiple world champ. Yeah, I don't know. I do think Lando and Oscar. Let's say for the next 5. Put it this way. I think for the next 5 years, if McLaren was the fastest car and it was Lando versus Oscar, for 5 years, I do think over the course of the 5 years, Lando would solve his problems, but then Piastri would also get better. So I don't know. I would say right now, if I had to take a guess over the course of 5 seasons, I would say Piastri wins championship 4 out of 5 times. Or 3 out of 2. 3 out of 5. Do you want to see Max and Merc? I mean, not really. I don't want Max to leave Red Bull. I think it's unreasonable to extrapolate McLaren's car performance this season to even next year. But what does that mean? That's a big word. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't really know what to do about F1 movie spoilers. Like, obviously, I'm going to try avoid spoiling the movie, but everyone's levels of spoiling is different. Like, me just saying I like the movie or I didn't like the movie could be seen as a spoiler for someone because they want to make their own opinion. Or me saying, oh, wow, they crash a lot could be seen as a spoiler, but I didn't say when they crash. But you can tell they crash a lot by watching the trailer, but maybe you're trying to avoid the trailer. So it's really hard to just, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, so many people in the F1 world have watched the movie already or don't care about watching the movie or want to know about mine and other people's opinions before they decide to watch the movie. So it's kind of like, do I sit on stream and not talk about the movie at all? Do I avoid spoilers? But how do I avoid someone in chat typing spoilers? You know what I mean? Like what's considered spoilers? It's just kind of hard, I guess. I guess my logic is if you didn't want spoilers, go watch it. If they really care about the movie, they would have seen it already. That was kind of my logic. I was like, I don't want any spoilers. I want to enjoy this on release day. I'm gonna go watch it. And obviously, I understand people have work and blah blah and other things and stuff like that. But I love hearing everyone's opinions. Yeah, spoilers. There's an F1 race in the film. I never want another person's opinion because most of the time we'll have very different opinions. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if someone tells me, "Oh, this show's shit," before I go into it, well, why would I want to watch it then? And sometimes the opposite can happen. If someone's like, "This is the greatest show ever," like Breaking Bad has been hyped up so much. If I watch Breaking Bad and it's not a 10 out of 10, it's shit. Yeah, that'd be cool if you could add like a spoiler over the top of your message in Twitch chat. That'd be kind of cool. But then you gotta hope people actually do that. Extrapolate meaning projecting the season's result in 2026 regs. Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying imagine, like hypothetically speaking, these the McLaren is how it is now. Sauber enjoying themselves this weekend. Yeah, they look really good. I mean, a short track, I guess it makes sense. Funny you mentioned Breaking Bad. I think the reason I've still never watched it is because I'd hate to not enjoy it after hearing how good it is. Yeah, I think because I've heard it's so good, I'm like saving it to watch it when I like saving myself to watch it when I have a bunch of time to commit to it and can really enjoy. Only been 2 to 3 days all day. All good. I'll come back later. Oh, we've stopped talking about it now, but obviously people are gonna come in and out and ask my opinion. But I mean, unless we have like an in-depth chat again, I think my thoughts on the movie is 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. From a sporting standpoint, it was there was a lot of problems, but as a movie, I really liked it. And I think bottom line, the F1 movie was made about F1, not for F1. Where's the Sauber Ultras? Do you think a double Q3 today? Double Q3 today, Poochie? Are you surprised at the point gap between Lando and Oscar concerning the overall difference in their driving this year? If you didn't know the points beforehand and you just listened to the opinions, you expect it to be 56 points. Yeah, that's a good point. How many points are they separated? I actually watched the last episode of Squid Game before the rest of the season, so I don't care if someone spoils the whole movie plot for me. Wait, you watched the last episode of Squid Game, but not... Really? I didn't even know the new season of Squid Game came out. Like, I swear they did not advertise season 3 at all. And I'm a Squid Game fan. Just the most likely frontrunners of 2026 is Merc, McLaren, and Ferrari. I don't know about Ferrari, but definitely Merc and McLaren, I think, with a Mercedes engine. I do that book, so always read the last page first. What? No, man. If you read the plot, dude, I think the most I've ever been annoyed in my life, ever in my life, was we're watching Survivor, right? A reality TV show. They eliminate someone every single day until there's one person left on the island, and that person wins. We've been watching the show for like 30 days, right? Like a whole month. Like there's I think there's 60 episodes in Survivor. We've been watching this show for like a month. We get down to like the final 10, and then my dad Googles who wins. Why? Oh, because I want to know who won. Well, watch the fucking show then. What do you mean you want to know who won? You're watching it to find out who won. Like, what's the point? Why would you Google the whole plot of the film, or why would you Google the winner of a show before you watch it? I can't, man. You guys are weird. If I watch something with no reason to watch it, with no reason to watch it, I just can't. Like genuinely, I used to watch UFC replays, right? Don't know who the winner was. Don't know who the winner is. Don't know anything about it. But because it's not live, I just can't enjoy it. I don't know what it is. When I watch live sports, it has to be live. Sorry, when I watch sports, it has to be live. When I watch movies, I don't want to know spoilers. Same with TV shows. Like, I just can't, man. If I know something, I'm just like, bruh, what's the point? I remember, bro. Oh my god, I remember my friend crashed out on me once. So I remember I was chilling in TeamSpeak one day, and I didn't know for years that my friend was like the biggest Marvel fan, and I was scrolling Twitter and I saw a tweet that was like, me when Iron Man dies and the whole cinema like clap or something like that. And I read that out loud. This was like release day of Endgame, I think it was. And he was like, shut the fuck up. Like, he was like genuinely angry. He's like, shut the fuck up. I've been trying to avoid spoilers for literally ages. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't fucking know. I didn't even fucking know. I was just reading a fucking tweet. And he like full on crashed out at me. And I was like, fair enough. But also at the same time, like, bro, it wasn't a spoiler. It was like a meme. It was like a joke. Like, it was like me when Brad Pitt dies. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a spoiler. It's, yeah. But imagine I did sport for him. He went in the movie knowing a fucking person died. Like, bro. All right, Russell P2, 1/10 off Norris. Perhaps he needs to come out and do his other laps. Good laps, good lap from Albon ahead of Yuki right now and Antonelli. Albon look good. Woo! As I'm just at Antonelli, P3, only 30 milliseconds off Russell. That's me with Taskmaster. I was in the live audience for the last episode, so I already know the winner for the new season. Well, I guess you're kind of watching it live, though. Oh, no, but then yeah, I guess you're getting, I do occasionally watch movie recaps on YouTube, but that's only on movies I don't intend to watch. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Dumbest thing I've heard today. Yeah, honestly, man. Like, I'm just like, why would you watch the show then? They also, another thing that pissed me off about that was that same season Survivor. We watched the entire season together, and then obviously the finale happened, but I was busy for like 2 days. They watched the finale without me. We watched this whole 60 episode show together, and because I couldn't watch or didn't want to watch the finale for like 2 days, you just watched it without me? Okay. Okay. The scene of MasterChef where I actually was spoiled on who won, and then I couldn't watch the rest of the season. Yeah, it's just like, it was just boring at that point. The suspense is gone. Can we stop talking about the movie? We're not talking about the movie anymore. We're literally talking about Marvel. I was talking about fucking Iron Man dying in a movie that came out 10 years ago. And then I made a joke about Brad Pitt dying. Brad Pitt's not even a character in the film. And he doesn't die. Of course he doesn't die. I'm not even talking about the movie now. No, apparently I'm giving spoilers. The worst is if some sports stream has video behind audio and you hear all the stuff that will happen in the video. Wait. The video behind the audio, what would it mean? Does Iron Man actually die? I've never watched it. He does. Oh, so I did spoil it for him, lol. Take the L. You always take into other people's opinions when you not see it, as well. I watched it first week, yeah. Good job, man. What do you mean, good job? Avengers Endgame came out. Avengers Endgame came out in 2019. That was 6 years ago. If you're mad at me for spoiling a movie that came out 6 years ago, I'm sorry. But watch it. Oh, you spoiled the 2021 championship winner for me. I was planning to rewatch the season. Max wins? Oh my God. Got F1 the movie spoilers on me by scrolling TikTok. Look, I'm being completely real. I don't really feel like there's anything to spoil about the F1 movie. I get it. Like, you know, like I was saying earlier, like, even just an opinion can be a spoiler for someone. Like, so yeah, if you hear me talking about F1 movie, just feel free to mute. But, I don't know what's the spoiler considered for someone. So it's like, other than not talking about the movie, there's not much I can really do. But if I'm being completely honest, there's nothing to spoil in the movie because it's the most predictable plot. And you can see the entire plot point basically in the fucking trailers. Like the ending, like you can predict the ending as soon as the movie starts. So it, but yeah, I mean, that's not a reason to just have the movie spoiled, of course, but. This is a big lap from Norris. 7/10 up. Oh my god. Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? At least Piastri needs to get there. Albon up to 6th. There's a sign he'll fuck up, right? Following, oh, hijack. Was that a spin? Yeah, following a pattern. Yeah, he'll probably mess up. Ferrari's winning tomorrow, you reckon? They need to get past the Mercedes and the McLarens first. Yuzunuzu. Thank you for the volley. Okay, track must be getting better, because how is Behrman P6 now? What the fuck? I want to see a lap from Russell and Max now. Whoa, that was Hadja. He's lucky to keep out of the wall there. Holy fuck. Is very lucky there. Holy. I think Matt and Tommy went hard on the movie for the clickbait. There's no way they thought it would be a realistic F1 movie and not a Hollywood blockbuster. Yeah. No, I love Matt and Tommy. I think they're great guys. They make great content. But yeah, I mean, it's probably, maybe it is just their opinion, but I do feel like a lot of people in the F1 world do kind of like tailor their opinion to the general F1 audience for views. The amount of times I've seen like F1 creators or Twitter accounts or TikTokers kind of like flip-flop their opinion or like say one thing but then say another thing just to side with the majority of the audience, just to like be like, see, I'm likable. I'm not saying they're doing that, but I think like it is kind of like, put it this way, when it comes to the movie and Drive to Survive, I feel like the general F1 world overall is hating on it, so it's easier to just hate on it as well. But then again, I completely like, I respect man Tommy, specifically Tommy's opinions a lot, so I'm sure it's just not a movie for him. Yeah. I think you just got to come in with a right mindset. So if you come expecting the most realistic thing ever, you're not going to get that. Stop yapping. I'm sorry, SPD Dev. You've tuned in to an F1 stream on F1 movie release week. We're probably going to talk about the F1 movie. Behrman is the 6th, but he is also 1 second behind. Yeah, that's what I mean. I want to see where Russell, Antonelli, and Max go. So not up to 5th now, but still 8/10 off. All right, with that being, if Yuki's 8/10 off, Max would be 2/10 off. The thing with Lando's lap, though, you got to keep in mind is this could be a quali run from him. This could be a no fuel, soft tire, fresh tire quali lap, whereas everyone else might have fuel in their car. I think as well, yeah, I agree with you, Kloppen. I think as well, when it comes to the movie, I think a lot of people aren't getting the true experience of the film. So, like, for instance, my housemate Hannah, she went and watched the premiere in a normal movie theater, and she thought it was okay. And then she came and watched it a second time with me and Luke when we watched it for the first time in IMAX, and she loved it. So I feel like it is a movie that's made for IMAX, you know, and you got to experience the bass, you got to experience the high quality audio, stuff like that. All right, here's Piastri's lap. Purple sector 1, green sector 2, but they're matching. Watch the match times right now. Lawson P8. Borderletto P7. What the fuck? P2, 1/10 off. Yeah, that is typical Lando, right? Shows that he's quicker in FP1, 2, 3, Q1, Q2. Let's see if he can string it together today in Q3, redeem himself from Canada. You gotta watch in 40x, dude. I don't know if I could watch something in 40x. I've watched like I've not had a true 40x experience, but whenever I've been in those like moving chairs, I just hate the like like the sounds whenever the chairs move. It just pisses me off. No, exactly, Epifair, exactly. That's what I mean. Like I feel like their opinion isn't wrong. Anyone, well, I'd say in Matt and Tommy's case, their opinion isn't wrong. It's just the movie isn't for people like them. And like, I mean, to be fair, movie isn't for people like me or Tomo either. But I think if you can disconnect your brain and just enjoy it, you can enjoy it. Which I guess what me and Tomo were able to do, but Matt and Tommy weren't able to do. You watch the Minecraft movie in 40x? How's that even possible? How can any movie be good? How can any non-racing movie be good in non-40x? Sorry, in 40x. Please, someone just give us something. Please, just give us some sort of hope that we can be close to McLaren. Yeah, true. The more I think about it, I guess it makes sense. Like whenever there's like sudden movements, it has to be like an action film. Minecraft, actually, to be fair, the Minecraft film would actually probably be good. Oh no, I completely agree with the plot as well. I thought the plot was, man. Ted Kravitz actually talking about if Oscar has anything up his sleeve to fight Lando this week in the UK. Yeah. Also, I always find that funny where I feel like since the first race of the season, it's always like, oh, like Lando or Piastri, whatever won for that weekend. Oh, it's just off the pace. Like, what are they gonna do to beat them? And it's just like, beat them the next race. You know what I mean? Like, there's always this talk about, oh, how are they going to respond this race? Maybe they're just slower this race. Maybe it just didn't click. Maybe they just don't like the track. Maybe the setup wasn't right. They'll beat them the next week. And that's how F1 Championship works. 100%. If we were at Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season, and it looks like Lando is going to consistently beat Piastri, fair enough. But most of the time, it's just like for instance, in China, it was just like, oh, like what's Lando going to do to beat Piastri this week? And it's just like, beat him the next week. That's how championship works. You trade back and forth. When did Alpine go back to the blue logos on the timing board? Haven't they always had blue? Kimi is definitely going to be a rookie of the year due to how he's able to keep up with Russell. I'm not going to lie, Sammy. Hedge is my rookie of the year at the moment. I think Antonelli is great, but I think when you compare, I think the only reason Antonelli is considered rookie of the year is because he's in a top car. But you got to remember, Antonelli is 4/10. I'd say on average 4/10 off his teammate in race pace and qualifying, and consistently losing to Russell, which is fine as a rookie. That's fine. But Hedge is beating his teammate. Hedge is making it to Q3 in a midfield car. He's consistent. And I think that's kind of how you have to look at it, is like who's doing best for their car. Like obviously, yeah, Kimi's doing the best because he's in the fastest car. But yeah. I have an interesting take. If Lando doesn't win in Silverstone, the championship is definitely over. The mental of letting down his Lando stand will take a burden. I agree with you a little bit. I think he is going to be he might try too hard to win in Silverstone. He might put too much pressure on Silverstone. You know how like Leclerc for years, specifically 21 and was it 22, where he like basically threw away the win because like he was trying too hard. That could happen to Lando. But then again, everyone, including me, counted Lando out in Monaco. I know that's not his home Grand Prix, but a very pressure-filled Grand Prix, and he won it. So he's proven that he can just switch off sometimes, and maybe he'll switch off in Silverstone, or it'll be a complete fumble. Either way, whether he does it or he doesn't, it's going to be good entertainment. If he completely bottles Silverstone, like that is going to be interesting to watch. If he goes and wins his home Grand Prix, that's going to be such a great moment. Kimi Rookie of the Year talk started again after the podium. He had a rough streak to all that. Not all his fault. Yeah, true. That's another thing as well. Sometimes, purely, like, some people argue, oh, yeah, but his engine broke down 3 races in a row. 100%. He got unlucky. But sometimes you have to just be like, well, look, they weren't able to show themselves. You know, we do this a lot with driver ratings on a Monday. It's like, at the end of the day, sometimes if you can't prove yourself, it just is, you don't have a chance to show yourself. It just is what it is. You're just going to get rated lower than someone else. And that's like a prime example of Kimi, is like, you can't just erase those 3 races. It's just kind of like, well, at the end of the day, Hedges had 3 extra races to prove himself and he fucking smashed it. What was I going to say? But people are also forgetting in Imola, he made a mistake in quali, didn't he? And in Monaco, he made a mistake, despite retiring in both races. Kimi is a Rookie of the Year for me. Hadja's putting that car where it looks like it shouldn't be. But yeah, how's it going though, Sammy? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, it's so cool that we have, honestly, I would say, well, yeah, 2 rookies doing outstanding, and then Bordeleto's doing well. Sorry, no. Yeah. We got 2 rookies doing outstanding and 2 rookies doing really well in Behrman and Bordello. I completely forgot about Behrman. And then Liam's been disappointing, unfortunately. And Colapinto and Doohan have been, well, Doohan was disappointing. Colapinto is not really had a chance to show his full self yet. What's this yellow flag for? Wait, Yuki stopped? This might be a red flag. No, we're good. Bro, there's fucking condensation everywhere from my drink. What if Silverstone is a Max Piastri Alonso podium? Alonso podium in Silverstone? The hell? Do you think Alex Dunn will go to F1 next year? Next year, I'm not sure, but I think he might do like Liam and a Jack, where he sits on the sidelines for a year, learns about the sport, is a reserve driver before making a step in. Nadine, name of the follow. When is Quali? Quali's in 2.5 hours from now. Guys, everyone go add them on Discord if you want a new friend. I feel bad. I met Liam's parents. They're so sweet. Yeah, I met his mum before. She's really nice. I think you can just see in the... Yeah, what the fuck's Max doing? Oh, that was pretty bad from Max, to be fair. That was pretty bad from Max. But not as bad as Cassie made it out to be. Whoa. Okay, so this is where Yuki spun and then got stuck. But yeah, Liam's parents are definitely like very down to earth. Like he didn't come from a rich family at all. Like obviously they were a stable, a stable family, had a house, shit like that. But like yeah, his dad sold their house to afford his racing career. I still remember that moment of like his dad. It was actually so sick that his family and girlfriend were in Singapore when he got his first points in Formula One. I think that's just such a perfect moment. You know what I mean? Like all those years, and they get to witness your first time getting points. That weekend was a banger, man. I love that weekend. Singapore 2023. Oh, I mean, it sucks that it was the first time the Red Bull lost their perfect streak, but as a Liam fan, like, bro got his first points, out-qualified both Red Bulls, raced very hard. It was a leap. Franco and Jack are the same for me. Both haven't had a good time. I still rate Colapinto higher than Jack. I don't know. I feel like people are only defending Jack because they don't like the hype that's around Colapinto. I think if you take Colapinto out of the picture, people are shitting on Jack. If I'm being honest, I think if Colapinto's out of the picture, people would be shitting on Jack. Not shitting on Jack like Latifi Mazepin levels, but like just like, oh my god, this guy again, get him out of the sport type vibe. What's up, Faz? I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude. I couldn't watch FP1. How did Dunn get P4? He was just on it, man. He was just on it. I mean, yeah, I think he did set his time at the right time, but still, it was a great lap. Tamika, thank you for the follow. All right, guys, that's FP3 done. Interesting session that. Oh, wait, we've still got some laps coming through. Yeah, we spent a lot of the time talking about the movie and talking about stuff outside of the practice session, but that's kind of typical what happens with practice. Watch-alongs is obviously you can't talk about everything in practice, and I'm not gonna lie, the practice sessions this weekend have been a bit weird overall. But let's go through the list. So we've got Hadja in last on mediums. Not sure why he didn't do a soft lap. Excuse me. Colapinto in second last. Only 2 tenths off Gasly, so maybe the Alpine's not looking good this weekend. Then Ocon, then Gasly, then Behrman, then Sainz and Albon. The Williams again, kind of showing pace and then not. Maybe again, it just depends on the time they set, on when they set their time. Then we got Hulkenberg, we got Alonso, we got Lawson, we got Bortoletto. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell. Is it going to be Aston? Is it going to be VCarb? Or is it going to be Sauber? I can't even believe I'm saying that Sauber in the mix. Oh, Franco going round at the at turn 2. Then we got Yuki Tsunoda. 6 tenths off her back. What did I say? I literally said, judging by Yuki's time, Max will be 2 tenths off Norris. So 6 tenths ahead of Tsunoda. I cooked. Then we've got Stroll. Then we've got Antonelli and Russell very close. Then we got Hamilton and Leclerc. Then we got Max. And then we got Piastri and Norris at the top. They are favorites. They are favorite for 1-2. Yeah, if they don't get 1-2, again, I say this most weeks that they top every single practice session. But if they don't get 1-2 in qualifying, it's a disappointment. But yeah, guys, that wraps up practice 3. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to follow down below. We do watch-alongs for every session, for every Grand Prix weekend. So join me later for qualifying, but stick around. The stream is not ending. If you're watching on YouTube right now, come join us on Twitch. We are going to be staying live all the way through to qualify. If you watch it on TikTok as well, stick around. We are going to be staying live. But yeah, staying live on TikTok and Twitch all the way through to qualifying. So, yeah. Fair take over Hyper Colapinto gives more love to Jack. Exactly, Tycho. Exactly. But yeah. Oh, there's a lot of flowers on the McLaren. I guess they do that at the end of the session because then they can inspect it in between. Do you play F125? I did play F125 for the first few weeks after it came out. I've been really busy lately, so I've not been able to have a chance to play it in the last couple of weeks. But we are going to return back to F125 once everything calms down. All right, when's F2 actually? F2 is in 40 minutes. So 10, no. 15 past, I think. Yeah. All right. Anyways, YouTube, that is it. I'll see you guys later for qualifying. Otherwise, come join us on Twitch. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.